little cat, and I'm rather fond of that, but I'd rather have a bow wow wow.
Sorry, sweetie. Late for lunch.
Stop that!
Oh, madam. What happened? Oh, what happened? Can you walk?
Yes, I can. Help me. Yes.
Oh,
Just help me. Get me.
you're right.
Yes. Bloody man tried to, what do you call it? Hijack me.
Were you sure it wasn't the military?
What? He put a pole across the roadway.
You've just had the honour of being the first European to be shot at today, Beryl.
There's been an attempted coup d'etat, dear.
Really? Well, nobody told me. I could have been... Well, I wasn't I? Oh. Oh, thank you, George. That was really good. Hello, young man. Who are you?
Well, I'm Arthur Kane. You know, we talked this morning.
Oh, yes. Oh, you're the man I came to see.
Listen, if you're not feeling well, I'd be glad to talk to you another
I'm fine.
time.
Really, I'm fine. Oh, you silly fool's going to telephone me and tell me what's going on. Come, young man. I'm absolutely famished, and I want to hear all about America. Why don't we start with another voddy? George, bring the bottle, will you? Your magazine. What do they want for their money?
How do you mean?
I'm not selling the secrets of my life, Arthur. May I call you Arthur?
Why, sure. Call me whatever you like. Well, we're a literary magazine, not a scandal sheet. So what they want is serious journalism, not gossip. What we would like to do is write a story about you and West with the Night.
Meaning, I suppose, that you want to know how much of it I wrote and how much Raoul wrote.
Well, wouldn't you like to kill the rumors?
Rumors? Is that the stuff of serious journalism? I wish I'd never written the bloody book. Did you read it? Did anybody read it? It was my life. Not Raoul, not anybody could have written about my life.
Wait a minute, Mrs. Markham. I have traveled over 8,000 miles to talk to you. There's no point addressing me like a public meeting. I believe that you wrote the book. So, why don't you and I get together and convince everybody else? Would you mind if I used this? Testing, 1, 2. Okay. I'm listening.
Such a long time ago. Nearly 80 years. My father bought some land at Njoro and then sent for us.
Further than the eye can see. A new world in Africa.
Well, water supply, there certainly doesn't seem to be a problem.
My dear Charles, one thing you learn about Africa is that everything is a problem. Plentiful supply of water this year, but next... Ah, here they come. I'll get on my way.
No, stay and meet Clara. She's heard so much about you.
No, Charles. I'll leave you and your family to settle in. New life, new world. Enjoy it, meet it, fight it, tackle it together. Good luck. It's God's country when he remembers he created it.
Richard! Hello, Beryl. Welcome to Njoro, my dearest.
Richard's not very well.
Oh, dear. Aren't you? I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, Polly. Go on. Yes. Go on. There down.
Yangu Arap Maina. Tinaya Konaimi?
Arap Maina, Chiniyango Nani.
Ini Totoyango Kibi.
Totoyango Kibi.
Injay! Injay! Out! Go on!
Daddy, what are you doing?
You'll see. Won't be long now.
can't take much more of this, Charles.
Take what, old girl?
Africa.
I like Africa.
Well, I was about to announce a little family celebration.
To celebrate what?
The dawn of civilization in this particular corner of Majora.
What's the matter, Richard?
I don't feel well.
Come inside, love. No idea what this life is like for me.
I know it's been difficult. You must be patient.
It's rubbish.
Things are getting better all the time.
I can't go on. I've tried. God knows I've tried.
Please.
It's your life, not mine. There's nothing but slavery here.
Marriage is an obligation, my dear.
Very hateful one.
Please, don't let's say anything that we might regret afterwards.
I can't keep up this lie, this deceit any longer. I'm taking the children home.
I won't let you. They'll stay here with me, in their home.
What kind of a life is this for them? They've no education. They're surrounded with people who can't speak English.
Different kind of education is just as valuable in its way.
Beryl! I want to tell you some things. You can play with them in a minute. You know Richard hasn't been very well. Well, I'm going to take him home to see a doctor and try and make him better. Daddy and I talked about it last night, and you'll stay here with Daddy while we're away.
I don't want you to go.
Well, think of Richard, dear. You want him well again, don't you?
Yes.
Well, there are good doctors in England, and they'll do everything they can.
What's England?
Well, England is our home, where we come from, where we really live. I want you to be a brave little girl and help Daddy until... I mean... Well, you've always loved him, and it's better this way. This is for you, my dearest. It was my mother's. It's yours now. When you look at it, think of me.
Our people do not cry like this. You must learn not to have tears. You are an African now.
How did you know?
You told me, Beryl.
Did I? Oh, clever. Not just now. We'll have you a little later, sweetie. Now, where was I?
Well, your mother had just left.
Oh, no, let's go on beyond that. Much later than that.
Daddy,
What is it?
Harriet Miner told me you've got something for me.
Yes.
Oh, Daddy!
There.
He's lovely.
Now, you make damn sure you look after it.
He's just like a little bull. I should call him Bulla. Thank you.
Yes, well, don't pour me, Beryl.
After a while, my father did build us a proper house on a hill. He tried to give me an education. But all I really needed to learn, I learned from the Africans.
Shika hivi, narudi nyuma, alafu narusha. Kidole nikuwa hapa, alafu narudi nyuma, alafu narusha. We went to town to buy a dress. We went to town to buy a dress. Good. Good.
Nataka kuona kitu.
Good afternoon. How do you do today? Good.
The monkeys, look.
I learned from the animals as well. How to know what's good and bad in the forest. Like the colobus monkeys, picking the yellow berries and leaving the black.
Whoa! Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How do you do today?
I'm very well, thank you. Who are you?
He's my friend Kibby. I taught him to say good afternoon.
You taught him very well. What's your name?
Beryl Clutterbuck. We live over at Njoro.
You're a long way from home. Why don't you come over to my house for tea? Your friend can tell your father you're with me.
I don't know who you are.
I'm so sorry. My name is Florence Delamere. Your father bought his farm from my husband.
He's a duke or an earl or...
No, just a lord. Do come. Have a son about your age.
Mwambia baba, mimi nakwenda kwa Lord Delamere. Mimi tarudi jioni. What's the difference between a lord and our lord?
Well, one is God, the other only thinks he is.
Are you a lord?
No, just a lady.
I'll be a lady when I grow up.
Expect so. You'll have to learn to dress a little differently.
Oh.
Go on, Quintet.
Ah, Florence, my dear. What? Just been talking to these Maasai chaps about a fascinating new sheep, a sort of flat-tail variety. I thought we might crossbreed it with a merino. Might be something interesting. We might have a new stock.
Oh, this is the Clutterbuck daughter, Beryl.
How do you do, my dear?
Ah, Mama, we're just going for a gallop.
No, you're not. This is Beryl Clutterbuck, and she's staying for tea.
Hello.
Chai Tavatali.
Come on.
Daddy! Daddy!
What is it?
Daddy!
Whoa, whoa,
Could you come with me to the Delameres? Daddy, will you?
Come off. Can't you see I'm busy?
They're holding a party for me.
Party for you? What on earth for?
Well, it's my birthday.
You should have told me.
All I want you to do is come to the party.
I got far too much to do here. I'm sorry I forgot.
You taught me.
So you never actually went to a real school?
There were endless governesses. I always managed to get rid of them.
Allow me.
Thank you.
Oh, Beryl, this is Mrs. Orchardson, your new governess.
Hello. I'm sure we're going to get on splendidly.
Well, let's get you settled in.
One morning, M-O-R-N-I-N-G. At the end of July, J-U-L-Y, a young man and 4 boys were sitting.
Beryl, it's time for bed.
Daddy.
Time you were in bed. We need a bit of quiet.
You asked me to play the piano.
I asked you to play it, not destroy it. Now off you go.
It was a gilded childhood.
Beryl! Hello, Beryl. Beryl, hi.
It's so nice that you came back.
Summer holidays for us.
I know.
School starts again in the autumn.
Do you like school? You wrote a letter, and it sounded very frightening.
It's all right now. Mother sends her love. She says she'll be coming back to Kenya, but I have a feeling it's just
Talk. Come on, Arup Miner's leaving. He's going to be a soldier. Kibby and me are going to see him off.
I want to stay here and finish these.
Richard,
I want to finish these sketches before I go home.
but there'll be a band and everything. Kibby's father's going off to the war.
I shall be enlisting in 2 years' time.
Will the war be going on for 2 years?
My housemaster says it will.
Are you glad?
We all have to do our duty for king and country.
Come on.
Tucker injury! Tucker injury! Tucker injury!
Bahari! Samak Bahari! Hang the line! John! By the right!
Arap Miner never came back.
My brother always received the silliest school reports. They measured his height when he first arrived at boarding school. And at the end of term, my father received the first school report, which said that at the beginning of term, John was 4'5", but at the end of term, he was 4'4½". Oh, no, the joke was the headmaster's comment. John seems to be settling down well. Beryl, give him some water.
Settling down well, it's very funny. Let's get back to Houdini.
You'll come back, Kibby. Everything between us will be changed. I will be your servant. I will call you Memsa. I must live with my people, and you with yours.
You'll be a fine man. And a fine warrior.
It was Gibby's turn to leave home. Goodbye! To be initiated into the rites of manhood. With his going, my own childhood ended.
I'd better go.
Oh. Go? Isn't there a curfew on?
No, they've canceled it. Panic's over, I guess. You still up to it tomorrow at 10?
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day.
Where does a young girl learn Shakespeare in the middle of the jungle?
She's come a long way.
I don't know what she'd have done without you.
We're very fond of her. She's the daughter we never had.
Mensap, you did well.
Ah, she's the one who did it.
She did well, too. I'm afraid my pony went lame in the last chopper.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hope it wasn't my fault.
No, no. I thought you played superbly.
Thank you.
Thirsty?
No, not just yet.
It was at that match that I met the man who, to answer your question, taught me Shakespeare in the jungle.
Beryl. I don't believe you've met Dennis Finch Hatton.
How'd you do?
How'd you do?
Jock says you're a brilliant polo player.
No.
From a man with his reputation in the game, I would say that was quite a compliment.
Beryl really knows how to talk to horses.
I do not.
Yes, you do. I've seen you muttering to them, like a witch doctor.
I'm hopeless at polo.
Oh?
Dennis is a hunter.
Well, more of a tour guide these days, really. Would you like to come on safari with me sometime?
I'd love it.
I'll bring her along. All you have to do is ask us.
Gentlemen, I hate to take Beryl away from you. Someone I'd really like you to meet. Excuse me.
Is that when Dennis Finch Hatton and Karen Blixen were lovers?
No, no, no. That was much later.
They never married.
No?
And your father never married Emma Orchardson?
No. In the old days, they used to ask, are you married or do you live in Kenya? No one ever asked Karen if she wrote out of Africa. Why do they always ask me?
Perhaps because you had never written anything before.
I have a lot of notes. Little efforts, sketches, and beginnings. I never kept a diary. There's always too much going on.
Well, if the rains don't come soon, we're going to be in real trouble.
Oh, don't worry, dear. They always have.
Good morning. How do you like my new Fiat?
Oh, it's beautiful. There can't be another in all Africa.
I collected her in Mombasa last week. Hell of a good ride home with her. Anyone like a spin?
We have to do the accounts.
I've contracted to supply 2,000 tons of grain.
You'll be able to afford one of these yourself.
If I get a crop this year.
Why don't you take Beryl?
Oh, what about it?
Why not?
I've asked Jock to join us for Christmas dinner.
Oh?
He's taken quite a shine to you, old girl. good man.
You trying to make a match, Father?
Well, you could do worse.
£32 anymore, £32 at £32 then. And finally the last lot of the sale, lot 128 showing here, fine stallion imported from England, from the estate of the Earl of Suffolk. Who'll start bidding at 50 guineas then. 50, thank you sir, 50 on my left, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 guineas, 90 guineas, 100 guineas, 100, 110, 120, 130, a new bidder, 130 guineas anymore, 140, 150 guineas now, at 150 guineas then anymore, at 150.
160.
160 from the gentleman in the corner there, 165, I'll take
200 guineas.
200 guineas from the gentleman, any more, 200 guineas. 200 guineas. Your name, sir?
Well, at least now I'll be able to honor the grain contract.
Oh, it's all unbearable.
I gave my word. That's all I've got left.
What are we going to do?
Oh, something will turn up.
No. I'm sorry.
It happens to farmers. Jock.
What?
Thank you.
For what?
Well, I saw you push up the bid.
Oh. What are you going to do with the house?
Oh, we don't have to be out until July.
Where were you?
We're survivors. We'll survive.
I can't imagine you without Kenya. Or Kenya without you. I want to talk to you. Can you come over to my house tonight? Condemned woman's last meal and all that?
Father, you all right?
What a damn fool question.
It's something you might want to know. Jock's asked me to marry him. And I've accepted. I thought you'd be pleased.
I'm delighted, my dear. It'll solve a lot of problems.
Jock was a perfectly nice man. But God knows why I married him.
Maybe just to please your father. Or for his money?
Money? I never gave a damn about money in my life. Certainly never stuck to me, as you can see.
No more from me.
Come, it's good for you. Jock was a man's man. He did his best to make things work. Father? manager's gone, and Jock said that you could have the job and the manager's house to live in.
Yes, he told me.
Well, it is a job and a place to live.
I've got a job. A terrific job.
Oh.
Training horses. We leave in the morning.
Leave?
It's in South America. Peru.
Don't leave, Father. Please.
I'm sorry, old girl. You're on your own now.
I've made you some coffee.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Oh, Beryl. I found this. Isn't it yours?
Good morning, Beryl.
What's this?
After last night,
You deserve it.
Jock,
Hmm?
can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
I'd like to train horses. May I?
Why not? I've got space and money enough to back you.
Oh, thank you, Jock. Then I'll ask the Delameres tomorrow.
Why do you want to ask the Delameres?
They know a lot of people. They can ask some of their friends. They're all going to be there tomorrow at the party.
Yes. I was going to suggest we skip it.
Why? It's always the event of the year.
I've never liked it. All those Africans, it's ludicrous.
I like the Africans.
In that place, Delamere spoils them rotten. He's going to ruin this country.
Please, Jock.
Anything you want. Right now, I know what I want.
For those of you who've never done this before, let me explain. This is a game of elimination. And no cheating by pinching someone else's colors. You aim for the heart. And now for the bullseye in both senses. The perfect solution. Africa, settler together. Let's hail the winners!
Jock!
Congratulations, darling.
Jock, don't be such a sport.
Beryl!
Dad! Where have you been?
I was late, but not too late to witness your triumph. Jock, wasn't she magnificent?
If you like that sort of thing.
Dennis, you old rascal. Late as usual.
Late, apologetic, but still in a state of grace.
Sit you down with Jock and Beryl.
Houseman.
What?
A.E. Houseman, soldier from the war returning, spoiler of this taken town. Here is ease that asks not earning. Come you in and sit you down.
What are you talking
You
about?
said sit you down. It's an odd phrase. I mean, normally you'd say sit down. I'm sorry.
Oh, poetry.
Relax, old boy. It's just this year's edition of the Delamere Follies.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the dance. Come on, Jock, let's go.
It's just the kind of thing I can't stand.
One, two, three. Knees up on the ground, knees up on the ground. Up the table she must go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Just bending, hustle, make the right road. Knees up, never get the breeze up, knees up on the ground.
It's disgusting. It's degrading. Crackpots like the Delameres cavorting with heathens and simpering idiots like Finch Hatton mincing along. It makes me want to vomit. And my wife makes a complete spectacle of herself. Have you any idea what anyone decent thinks of you? Have you? Beryl. Beryl, I'm talking to you!
I think he's fine. You can take him back. Jock!
In the house. In the house. I'm tired of having a wife who's not a wife. I'm tired of never knowing where you are. This is where you live, in this house, not in those bloody stables.
You're drunk.
You're my wife!
Easy. 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 Easy, baby. Easy. Easy.
You've already got their dinner. Easy, baby.
I hope I didn't frighten you. I wasn't sure if you'd seen the lions. Tom Campbell Black. And you can only be Beryl Clutterbuck.
Purvis.
Yes, of course. No one else would be mad to be riding out here on their own. Well, to tell you the truth, I'd have probably only buzzed the lions, but the engine's been acting up. Spark trouble, I expect. Oh, yes.
Your plane looks wonderful.
Transport of the future. But right now, it's the most fun you can have in the world. I'll take you for a flight sometime, if you like. Minus the horse. How is Jock? I haven't seen him since before your wedding. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was in London.
I've never been to London. Is that where you live?
No, a frightful place. I have to go there from time to time. Should do it. Well, I suppose I'd better be going. It'll be dark shortly. Delighted to have met you at last.
Thank you.
Give my regards to Jock, won't you?
You become quite insanely jealous. Took to hammering nails in the wall every time you thought I'd been unfaithful to him, which was almost any time I even spoke to another man.
Well, if you were anything then like you are now, I bet you were a bit of a handful.
Well, I was young, and I'd been used to being... Oh, good. I'd been used to being free, you see. Poor Jock. He simply didn't know what to do with me.
I've cancelled the guests. Told them not to come. Why should I be insulted in my own home by a wife who flirts and preens and makes eyes at every male of the species, while she can't stand her own husband even to touch her? That's why.
I had only one thought, to get away.
Memsab,
What are you doing here?
a woman does not leave her husband. You must go back. Buena Purvis is very angry.
I have left Buena Purvis for good, or for better. I'm going to train horses here in Merlot. Going to have my own stable.
Ha!
I am.
A very good idea. A stable with no horses.
I'll get them.
You got money? You got a trainer's license? You'll never get a trainer's license. What you've got is one angry husband and plenty of trouble.
You like him so much, why don't you go back to him? He pays you, you've got a job.
You don't know anything. You're putting this on the wrong way.
Hello, Dee.
Beryl!
Good morning.
Morning.
Beryl! Hello, I haven't seen you since you... How are you? I'm fine. I'm staying at Molo. It's not too comfy, but I'll be all right. I came to talk to you about a business proposition. I want to start a training stable. I need some horses. I'd handle the rest. And, of course, I wouldn't ask for any payment or purses. I simply want to build my reputation as a trainer.
But you never trained horses before, Beryl.
I've been training my whole life.
Not professionally.
You always said she was a genius with horses.
Well, this is different.
Why?
They're my horses. Besides, the Jockey Club would never give you a license.
That's my concern. I'll get it if you give me the horses. I'll get the license.
We'd like you to succeed, Beryl. A proper Kenyan, training Kenyan horses. I like it.
Miss Clutterbuck, there is no such thing as women trainers.
You're asking the Jockey Club to recognize a category that simply doesn't exist.
I'm only asking you to recognize two facts. That I train horses and that I am a woman. I really don't.
There is no precedent.
For being a woman? I think it started with Eve in the book of Genesis.
Please, madam, we're not fencing with words here.
That's exactly what you are doing. I came here to ask for a trainer's permit, and you answer me with words like precedent, category, tradition. Horse doesn't care I'm a woman. Owner seems to trust me.
Perhaps as a compromise, Brownwood.
Yes?
I am prepared to let Miss Clutterbuck's horses run under my name until the full committee can consider your application.
Well, that's very generous, Sir Anthony. What do you think of that, Miss Clutterbuck?
That's very kind of Sir Anthony.
Then we have agreement.
I will agree to run 2 horses under Sir Anthony's name. But if either one of the horses wins, then you owe me my permit. Elgin lad's a natural 2-miler.
But is he ready to race?
It's the only way we're ever going to earn any money.
Memsab, they're going to cut off our supplies. No money, no oats.
I know.
Then blacksmith.
I know.
For my people, it's okay. But you've had no meat for maybe 10 days.
Don't worry about me, Kibi.
You will get sick.
Haraka, Sana! Haraka, haraka! I will find a way. How much will you lend me for this? Blinker him.
What? But he's never in his life
I
had...
said blinker him.
But Memsab, you give him...
Kibi, just do as I say. Don't ever question my decisions again.
Hold him back until 2 furlongs out. I don't realize, Beryl, you're praying. The jockey's got my horse, his skill, and his whip. But I think God can do more. hold him back. Got the best jockey in Kenya riding on him. I've got my livelihood riding on him. Oh, he's gone too soon.
No, he hasn't.
Sir Anthony.
Excellently trained, Anthony. You excelled yourself.
Beryl.
This is bloody good booze. Who's paying for it?
You are, darling. Beryl, I would like you to meet Mansfield Markham.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Congratulations on your winner.
Oh, thank you.
I don't suppose you'd care to dance with a complete stranger.
Are you the complete stranger?
Incomplete, unless we can dance together all evening.
Oh.
Thank you.
Now's your chance.
Ah. Now, if you'd like to do that again with Spears.
I love this country. Don't you love it? Nobody who has ever loved Africa can ever escape it. It haunts you until you die.
Could you ever think of leaving it?
No, never.
Just for a few weeks?
No.
Even for your honeymoon?
Oh, Mansfield, it's too...
It's too what? It's too soon? Too sudden?
Too perfect.
Marry me, Beryl, right away.
Yes. Yes.
I knew you would.
You did.
Yeah, when you pulled your shot and let me win. That one's good. Well, any or all of them, they're yours. Just so long as I reserve the right to choose the underwear.
I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Well, a girl can't wear a loincloth in Paris.
Oh, darling, it's been like a dream. Everything, the ship, the Orient Express, Istanbul, Paris.
Oh, could I wear this one tonight?
Isn't that a little too dressy? I mean, the natives will spot you as an outsider right away.
But I am an outsider.
My darling little outsider. That's why I adore you. That's why it's going to be so wonderful to mold you into my wife.
Monsieur Marquin, votre table est prête.
C'est maman.
It's Kippy.
C'est Babu.
He said he was getting a bite to eat. I never thought he'd wind up here.
Mimi netaka nahi.
Wogs against the frogs, my dear. And may the better man win.
Yeah. No.
Mrs. Mansfield Markham.
C'est Babu.
This is Uncle Anthony. He was the black sheep of the family until I went to live in Africa and became purist ebony.
Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
At least I earn my living. Something Mansfield finds too vulgar to do.
Oh, yes, Beryl earns a living too.
Does she?
Ah, Mother, this is Beryl. Yes, she earns her living training horses, don't you, my dear?
Yes.
And she's very successful at it too.
You'll soon have other responsibilities.
Come and have tea. You sit beside me, my dear, and we'll get to know each other better. You must find our climate so different.
Oh, but yes, it's very refreshing. I should have known then, in those cold, drafty halls, what my marriage would become. But I didn't yet. I tried to be perfect.
Talented girl you are, Beryl. Oh, I believe that's Mansfield back. Come and give him a kiss. Did you have a good day, darling?
Lovely. Well, you didn't marry Mother, dear. You married me. I mean, Mother's completely Victorian. But don't ignore the virtues of the Victorians. They built that empire you're so attached to.
Thank you, sir. May I have your name? Thank you. Now then, gentlemen, next lot in your catalogue, number 28. 2 thoroughbred mares from the Wilmot stud. 1 6-year-old chestnut, 1 4-year-old dapple grey. I already have a bid of...
Mensa, come look at this one.
He's a beauty. What's wrong with him?
Bad blood, ma'am. Vicious. That's what he is, ma'am. Kicked a groom to death. Nobody's going to buy him. They all know.
Messenger boy! Messenger boy out of Sybil Jane by the great Knight's brother.
But the governor says there's always some fool, even for the worst horse. His sister just fetched 2,000 guineas straight up. Not that one. Come on, ma'am.
Elliot out for 25. All down at 25. Go to the lady for 25 guineas. Your name, please, madam.
Markham!
Beryl, I shall be thoroughly displeased with you, taking my son away. I know you're both very keen on this Kenya. Once you've had children, you'll have to come scuttling home, so they can be properly educated.
Come, I want to go into boat.
What's that, your man-eater?
My very inexpensive winner. But it's very generous of Mansfield to indulge you like this.
Well, Beryl says he's going to make us both famous.
Shut up! He's crazy! I can't get near him.
Did it. But most of all, to my husband, who has made all of this not only possible, but wonderful. To Messenger Boy and to Mansfield. Messenger Boy and Mansfield.
And I believe my wife's birthday present has arrived.
Party.
It's jolly tiring, though.
Darling.
Hmm?
I thought...
What?
I thought you'd be happy to know I'm pregnant.
That's wonderful news, my dear.
It's due in February.
February? Of course, that'll mean we'll have to return to London.
Why? Kenya's our home.
All the Markhams have been born at Markham Court since time began. Besides, much as we love Africa, darling, it's not exactly the best place for doctors, is it?
You see, Mansfield reverted to his family upbringing, where a woman's place was in the home. Especially if she was pregnant. Oh, if you're going to be a disobedient wife, never marry a conventional man.
I'll remember that.
Darling!
Who on earth was he?
A messenger. An official messenger. We've been invited to join the royal party on safari. I've given them our acceptance.
I loathe safaris, Beryl, and you know I do. That's the sort of excitement we don't need at the moment, darling.
But it's the Prince of Wales and Prince Henry.
Well, royalty is unlikely to affect the tedium of plodding after animals in order to slaughter them. Now, you need to be calm.
You really don't have to coddle me, Mansfield. Active mothers have very healthy children.
Well, I despise everything about those hunting safaris, and my interest in the princes is at best limited. Please make our excuses.
I'd really like to go.
I would have thought you'd have cared more about our child than some sweat-smelling, insect-infested safari.
I always had an urge
We're not
for
going.
self-destruction.
That's that. I forbid it.
What I have never been able to resist is her new thrill.
or new challenge. Even talking to you like this, Arthur.
Now, a toast to their Royal Highnesses and the honor they have bestowed upon us by visiting us here in Kenya, in, if I may say so, the prime of their youth. Their Royal Highnesses.
Royal Highnesses. Thank you.
I think we all deserve some lunch.
Isn't that Baroness Blixen? Her husband left her. Oh, they say she's having a fling with our friend Finch Hatton. Is that the lure of Kenya?
Just heard the news. I'm so very pleased. How did you know? Markham, you won't keep it a secret for long.
Now, we can't have two of the distaff side whispering together.
Jack, do you know Mrs. Markham?
Oh, I've known Beryl since she used to play with bare feet and a wee bare bum.
I wear considerably more these days.
I hope not. Mrs. Markham's very attractive.
And only slightly married, by all accounts.
Just don't start getting too serious, Henry.
It doesn't count on holiday.
If you say so. If Father were to hear.
He won't.
I cannot find the presence of royalty very exciting, Beryl. As a woman, I mean.
Mrs. Markham. I understand that you're the only proper native here. I've just been made president of Kew Gardens, God knows why. Would you mind showing me some of the local flora?
Well, I'd be delighted.
Command performance tonight.
I was really quite fortunate, actually. I grew up with the Africans. They taught me everything. Everything of value, that is.
Like what?
Oh, how to find food, water.
How interesting. How do they find water?
It's really quite simple, actually. If you trap a baboon, they can smell water, you see. And if you hold it till the poor thing is dying of thirst, then when you release it, you can follow it to its water supply.
That's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
It's brutal, but necessary. That's the way you learn to survive.
I'm not quite sure what it's called. Injustice, something like that. There is a wall of which the stones are lies and bribes and dead men's bones.
No, please, everyone, don't move. Thank you so much.
And wrongfully this evil wall denies what all men made for all. And shamefully this wall surrounds our homesteads and our native towns.
Don't be annoying, Jack.
Oh, come on, Beryl. You know you want it. And he's not going to be giving you the royal initiation. Not tonight, anyway.
Stop it, Jack.
Come on, Beryl. I saw you without any clothes on 20 years ago.
Oh! Come on, Jack. Keep it tucked in and behave.
It's funny how a little incident can lead to a big consequence. Jack Carberry wasn't going to get out of my life, but we'll get to that later.
There are reports of a herd of elephant a quarter of a mile away, sir, but if you want some real adventure, one of the scouts has found the tracks of Greater Kudu. Good.
Christopher, this is a surprise.
Where's the prince? I must see him at once.
Over there, preparing for the shoot.
Excuse us, everyone, please.
One minute. May I have a word with you, sir?
Certainly, Brownie.
Thank you.
Mrs. Markham. Our father's gravely ill.
I'm so sorry.
It means we have to return at once.
Of course.
I'm sorry we haven't seen more of each other. I hope... Well, I I hope you'll keep in touch.
You've been very gracious.
Henry! I'd like to see you again. I know you'll be coming to London. It's my private number. Do call.
Henry!
Mrs. Markham, you have a son.
No, take off this woolen. Surely looks so flushed. Yes.
Yes. Oh, we thought he looked a little warm, Mom. There's nothing warm in this entire house. That's my boy. Here we go.
Hansfield will be expecting you for dinner, my dear.
Tell him I'm feeding Gervais. Good, huh? They're good. They're good.
Don't wait up for me, darling. Harold, you're not yet house trained.
And you are not yet balustrade.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night, Harold.
Follow that car.
Excuse me, madam. There is a Mr. Penrose from the Daily Mirror newspaper who asks for a word with you.
Who?
Only a moment of your time, madam. A most delicate matter.
Thank you, Jameson. Yes.
We believe that you are a friend, a close friend of His Highness the Duke of Gloucester.
If you know that, Mr. Penrose, then surely you must know that I have no comment.
Naturally, madam. However, perhaps you can confirm the report that on Wednesday night, after dining at the Café de Paris, adjoining rooms were taken at the Ritz Hotel Piccadilly.
I have nothing to say. I'm sure that the Palace Press Office will give you all the details of His Highness's social engagement.
How many times do I have to tell you, Beryl? Leave Gervais to his nanny. It isn't good to coddle him.
I am his mother.
You are also and foremost my wife.
When are we going home?
This is home, Beryl. Beside me. My son will be brought up in England, as I was. Africa was an interlude. It was pleasant, but it's over. Over. You hear me? Over. If you wish to return to the jungle, then you do so on your own. My son remains here. His home.
And she used to insist on the band playing. I'm not having any success in cheering you up today, am I, Beryl? What is it, hmm?
Oh. It's you, me, him, us.
In that order. I spoke to my brother about us last night. Do you know what a morganatic marriage is? Well, as third in line to the throne, I'd have to contract that any children we might have were barred from... Beryl, I love you. I want to marry you.
Henry, it's not possible.
Yes, it is. Oh, there'd be one hell of a fuss, but...
Henry, don't spoil things. Come on.
Most grateful to you, Mr. Markham, for coming so promptly. Mr. George, our solicitor.
So, you do?
We believe the situation has reached a crisis.
The situation?
This is most difficult.
You mean my wife's relationship with Prince Henry?
Exactly, sir. I'm most grateful to you.
It's a cross I've had to bear for some time, sir. My marriage is, to all intents and purposes, now over, Your Majesty. That being so, I hadn't thought it my place to interfere in Beryl's life.
My brother is infatuated, perhaps in love. Mrs. Markham's feelings are, I'm told, less strong.
His Majesty has been taking advice from several quarters, Mr. Markham.
And we have a proposition.
I was summoned to the palace this morning.
I am sorry, Mansfield. I really am. Sorry.
Well, I told them that whatever Prince Henry's feelings were toward you, I didn't believe that you had any hope or intention of marrying him. Is that correct?
I don't love him.
No. Very well. Palace has agreed to make an ex gratia payment to you. Small annuity for the rest of your life. In exchange, you will end your relationship
with the prince, and I have agreed not to mention him any divorce action. However, I will arrange for you to return to Kenya within the week. Is that clear?
Yes.
Do you accept?
On one condition. Gervais goes with me.
Gervais remains here.
He's my son.
He's our son. Gervais is a Markham. You will, of course, be entitled to see him from time to time, but his custody remains with me.
And if I refuse?
Now, don't force me, Beryl.
I'm not afraid to face the scandal.
Well, I'll have him made a ward of court. The prince will be utterly disgraced. The very throne. Now, please, Beryl, listen to me. I am offering you your freedom, access to your son, return to Africa, and the sum of money for the rest of your life. Now, for the child's sake and for your own, I hope you'll accept.
Mansfield was charming. He had such style. I was always a sucker for style.
Why didn't you write about any of this in your book?
Because it was a memoir, not an autobiography.
All right. Then can we talk some more about your decision to go along with his conditions?
I've turned it over in my mind for nearly 50 years. There's nothing more to say. Arthur, let's go on. I went home to find my father in my house. He'd returned, minus Emma Orchardson.
For God's sake, Beryl, you've got to snap out of this. Mansfield is over. The baby is gone. You're back home now and you want to make a life for yourself. I loathe self-pity.
I hardly think you're the one to lecture me on feelings. You were never there when I needed you, ever. You raised me to be on my own and independent. Don't think that you can come back into my life and tell me how to sort it out.
I was simply trying to do what was best for you. To make you strong enough to stand on your own. I'm afraid I'm not very good at telling people that I care for them. I'm sorry, Beryl.
Yes. I'm sorry too, Father. In my pit of despair, I had an unexpected visitor, Tom Campbell Black.
Your boy tells me you haven't left the place in a week.
Hello, Tom.
Let's go flying, shall we? You still want to fly, don't you?
But it wasn't Tom who dropped out of the sky first. Well, hello there.
Beryl! I ran out of bloody fuel flying around trying to avoid that storm over there.
Oh, Dennis, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Get off that nag. Let me borrow it so I can go and get some fuel.
Oh, no, you don't. You'll only get lost again. I'll go get it.
At least horses don't run out of petrol.
I've got a camp over there. It'll take me a while. Why don't you make yourself useful? Try cooking dinner.
I don't know about that, but I do have what we really need. Meager compensation for your promised hospitality. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time.
And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Nothing!
Nothing!
Tell me, what's been happening to you?
Oh, it's a whole new life. A new me. Maybe I'll take up flying. Tom Black says there's a great future in aviation.
What if you run out of petrol in the middle of nowhere?
I'd love to fly.
It's wonderful.
Is it? Maybe you'll teach me. How's Karen?
She's fine.
You really have cheered me up, Dennis. I wish you'd drop out of the sky more often.
I have to be up there, Beryl. Let me explain. Nor law nor duty bade me fight, nor public men nor cheering crowds. A lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds.
I'd balanced all, brought all to mind. The years to come seemed wasted breath, a wasted breath the years behind, in balance with this life, this death.
One, check the windsock. That is your wind direction. Two, check the landing strip. Make sure there are no holes, no game. Three, make sure that you have sufficient fuel for an overshoot. And four, make sure that your approach speed is 70 miles an hour in gusty conditions.
Now climb to 2,000 level, heading 180. Excellent, Beryl. You're the only damn one who can do it first time. Now do it again.
Don't you play tennis, Jack?
Well, if a game doesn't exercise the mind, it's neglecting the only important muscle in the body.
Jack.
By which he means he only plays to win. You never said a truer word.
I'm flying to Voy tomorrow. If you were,
Oh, I'd love it.
midday prompt. If you're late, I'll have to leave without you.
I'll be there.
Tracy trying to downhill you!
I didn't try, Braun. I landed. My bloody water bottle spilled. I'm absolutely gasping.
You are mad! Mad!
Another stunt like that, and you can find yourself another flying instructor.
I'm sorry.
You wouldn't be laughing if your fuel line had been blocked when you took off, would you? In a dust storm, dust takeoff. Check the fuel filter and clear it. How many hours solo have you done?
Just a few more and I'm licensed.
I'll give you extra navigational instruction if you'll stay on here today.
Oh, thank you, Tom. I'd love it, but I'm flying to Voi with dinner.
I know.
I'm late as it is, and I've got to go home and get my things. Is there something wrong?
Well, it's just, I don't think Dennis is a very safe pilot.
What are you talking about?
I had a dream, and I know it's just rubbish, but I do wish you'd stay behind.
You? Of all people? You had a dream?
I don't even believe in such things. I still think he's a rotten pilot. I've seen him up there. Throws the damn thing around as if he'd never heard of downdrafts and stalling speeds. The hell out of it. And he never files a decent flight plan either. Beryl, stay.
It means a great deal to me.
All right, then go.
Right.
Beryl, where are you? Where is she? We're going to be late for the funeral. Beryl! Beryl!
Oh, that African hooch. Ooh, I can't drink it anymore. Whatever they say about old age, the real curse is indigestion. The body helps. Pour me another, will you, sweetie?
Dennis is such a myth now, but he wasn't really well known then. I mean, he wasn't a world-famous flyer or an air ace like Tom Campbell Black.
No. Dennis was a very private man. Women adored him. He was so sensitive, attractive. Who else loved music and language? Who else was so...
Unattainable?
Oh, let's leave him to history. And to Karen Blixen.
Kibbe knows more about horses than you or I put together.
I'm sorry, Beryl, but I didn't send my horse to be trained by one of your boys.
The horses don't care what the color of his skin is.
The point is, Beryl, that I've been paying for your skill, not his.
Stupid man. This is their country. They'll have it back one of these days. I gave you a brilliant trainer. You deserve to wind up with one of those flesh traders.
Sorry, Beryl.
And you haven't paid your bill for nearly 2 months! Damn you! Damn them all!
Time's up. How did you go?
What sadist invented this examination?
Me.
Sorry.
Want a beer?
Oh, I'd love one.
Come on, then.
Oh, I thought you had it here. I didn't mean we should...
Beryl, do you have a dinner date?
No.
Do you have a husband or a lover at home?
No, I don't.
Well, then let's have a beer, old girl.
Right.
Well, they're all gone now, except for Pegs.
He's sad.
A bit. But it was probably time.
Well, that's good. Because you've just passed your commercial pilot's license with an A grading.
Oh! 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 Bee! Look! It's a whole new life. Engines, aeroplanes.
Aeroplanes?
You're going to learn to be a mechanic.
A mechanic?
Gentlemen, Mrs. Markham has located a big herd of elephants with some magnificent tuskers 2 miles east. So we have saved ourselves a day's march. Ha.
You really can cook, can't you?
It's a matter of self-defense. I've always had to eat what I've prepared.
Oh, Tom, you've been so kind to me these last few weeks. I just wanted to say how much I... Come on. You're a good friend.
We've known each other a long time, Beryl.
Yes, we have.
Do you think we could ever be more than friends?
Well, let's see how good a cook you are first.
Let's forget the cooking, shall we?
You never asked me about Dennis. Why?
Because it has nothing to do with me. With us.
I did love him, you know.
Yes, I know.
Now I love you.
Yes, I know. Isn't that enough?
Yes. It's quite enough.
I'll just go clean up.
You're a lucky woman.
I know.
Well, don't let him slip through your fingers.
It's different this time. He was my best friend first.
I always thought I was your best friend.
Second best.
Tom was the only man in my life who never wanted me to be somebody I wasn't. Tom and my father.
The only ones you really loved?
Oh, Arthur, why do you always want to reduce my life to scandal sheet headlines?
I'm sorry.
I've loved many people and many things.
Beryl, why didn't you marry Tom?
Hello, you two. Is there room for the third in the lovebirds' nest?
How are you, bro?
Hello.
I suppose so, bro.
Well, I need a flight to London. Payment by courtesy of the London Bombay Bank. Departure Monday. Do I hear any offers?
Sorry, old man. I'm going to be in Johannesburg all week.
Ah, so at least I wouldn't be breaking up the family home if I persuaded Beryl.
Oh.
I'd love it. Tom?
You're a commercial pilot now, old girl. Roy's obviously in a hurry. Just charge him the earth.
Done?
Done.
Done.
Do you have the alternative compass?
Yes.
Have you checked the spares?
Twice.
Now, you haven't forgotten the wind chart.
Tom, you're the one who taught me everything, but I'm the one who learned it.
Quite right.
So hurry home, old girl.
Keep loving me.
I will.
Good.
Morning, Broad.
Morning. We're going to fly for 5 days and that. Decorum? I thought Beryl would appreciate a man with a sense of decorum. Did my bags arrive?
All loaded.
Excellent. What time is takeoff?
Right now.
Oh, let's go then.
I've been meaning to give you this.
Tom.
You too.
Come on, you two.
See you, mate.
Fine, I'm fine.
Did I earn my fee?
Let's find out if they speak English here first.
Well,
Good. How long are you staying in London?
only a couple of days. I'm going to see Gervais.
Huh?
My son.
Ah. My dear friend, is that wise?
It's not a question of wisdom, Boy. He's my son. Now let's see if they'll let people like you in the country.
Hello, Beryl.
Hello.
You look well.
Thank you. How's Gervais?
He's a very healthy boy.
Good. I'm only here for a couple of days.
Tomorrow afternoon at 4, then.
Good. That would be fine.
I'm afraid I shan't be able to see you there myself.
No, well, that's all right.
Mother's away for the day, too.
I see.
But Nurse Graham, the day nurse, she'll introduce you.
Good, thank you.
Keeping well yourself, then?
Yes. I flew here in 4 days.
4 days?
It was a wonderful journey.
Well, I hope the return is as pleasant. 4 tomorrow, then.
Yes.
Bye, Beryl.
Bye, Mansfield.
Good afternoon, madam.
Hello, Jackson. How are you?
Very well, thank you, madam. Nurse Graham is expecting you. The nursery is now on the first floor, madam.
Thank you. Well, hello. Well,
What a nice bicycle.
It's not a bicycle, it's a tricycle. It's got 3 wheels.
Oh, so it has.
When I'm 5, I can take it on my walks.
Do you like to go for walks?
No, it's boring.
I'm so sorry, madam. I didn't hear the doorbell. Look at you. Where's your jacket? Go and put it on. We've got visitors.
Oh, no, that's all right. He doesn't have to.
Go on. I want you in your jacket for tea and a clean pair of shoes. Gervais, what have we forgotten? What a scamp. But a nice little boy underneath.
Are these his?
Oh, dear. I should have thrown those out this morning. He loves drawing. He'll tell you what it's supposed to be, but I'm blowed if I can see anything. Just scribbling, I say. I had to confiscate the crayons this morning. He was getting through sheets of paper as if money meant nothing. That's better. Now come and sit down for your tea. Your shoelaces are undone.
It's not fair. I tried once.
I'll do them.
He has to learn.
Just this once.
There we are.
What do you say?
Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome very much. I like your pictures. What's this one?
It's James Templeton and me. That's his dog, Flossie. She's rather smelly.
And what's that one?
It's Flossie too, doing a doggy poo in the park.
That's enough, child.
Oh, thank you.
I'll get some hot water.
I'm Nanny's sister from Scotland.
No.
Just a friend.
Well, not exactly.
Her friends don't usually talk to me.
No. Didn't Daddy tell you who I am?
No, but you're very pretty.
Can I have this picture?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Gervais. I can't stay.
Is anything wrong, madam?
I'm sorry.
Welcome home.
Oh,
How was England? How's your little boy?
oh, he's wonderful, very strong. Oh, Tom, it's good to be back.
Mm.
Oh. Oh, Tom. I missed you so much.
Thank you, dear.
I feel like a criminal.
Why is that?
hiding things from you.
What are you hiding?
I should have told you right away. Then I didn't. Then I couldn't.
What is it?
I've been offered a job I can't refuse in England.
England?
Lord Furness wants a pilot full-time. He's offered me the earth. Darling, I am deeply, truly sorry.
Don't go, Tom. Please.
I've already accepted I'll go. Well, I had to. I'd be broke otherwise. And it's only until I'm on my feet financially. It won't be for long. It probably won't last long. You know, these jobs seldom do.
When will you leave?
Tomorrow.
And tomorrow, and tomorrow.
I'm sorry. You're awake.
Yes.
You've been watching me.
How did you know?
I sensed it.
Oh, you show.
You will write to me.
Yes.
Your best friend.
Oh, my very best friend.
I expect I'll be back before you even know I've gone.
Tom, I love you very much.
Bye, Olga.
Too many goodbyes. There's a lie in every lover's parting. I promised to write. I really don't mind. Of course, you must go. Huh.
Poor Beryl.
Yes, poor Beryl. I really felt sorry for myself.
Tell me something. Would the best dinner in Nairobi help?
No, would now. Wouldn't have then. Why am I telling you all of this? All you really want to know is, did I write West with the Night on my own, or did somebody help?
We'll get back to that.
Well, don't you see? I am telling you the answer now. I'm telling you my life.
Nothing but bills. You know, Minsab, I think we need a cow.
Why?
The milk we get is always sour. You wouldn't notice because you don't care about food. I
Kitty,
care.
haven't we got enough troubles without having to have a cow?
Bad milk is bad for you.
You know, sometimes you are just like an old woman, Kitty.
I'll buy one myself and keep it in the back field.
No, you won't. Don't you dare. Why are you doing this to me? I've written every day this week and not a word from you in return. I reread the letters you wrote when you first left 3 long months ago. Lately, they're my only contact with you. Oh, Tom, darling Tom, I see you every time I close my eyes. But your smile has begun to fade. Bring it back quickly, soon, my only love.
Hello?
want to kidnap you for lunch at the club. I've seen your flight record at the airfield, and you have been doing over 80 hours a week, and it's ridiculous and it's dangerous. So I have formed a committee to stop you from working for at least 2 days. And I voted to start with lunch at the club.
Did you see the latest news?
No.
Air ace Tom Campbell Black, formerly of Nairobi, was married to the English stage star Florence Desmond at a society wedding in London yesterday.
Didn't he have a little fling with our Beryl?
Didn't everyone?
Quite enough, Jack. Beryl! Hello! Beryl, good to see you again.
Beryl, where have you been hiding yourself all these weeks?
Immersed in work, I'm afraid.
Well, you see, Tom Black married rather well.
Oh, Broad, didn't I tell you? He wrote to me about it last week.
You really are a bastard, Jack.
Oh, I'm just warming to my task.
Maybe this wasn't a good idea.
Oh, Bro. I think I need a drink.
No, you mustn't, Jack.
Stop your
Don't.
whining, woman. Now, Beryl, I've decided to give you a race, just to prove that no woman can outfly a man.
My dear Lord Carberry, the only thing that would prove is one plane faster than another. And you would obviously win since you have the faster plane.
All right. I'll give you a real challenge.
Beryl doesn't need a challenge.
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
What is it?
The Atlantic.
Oh, come on, Jack.
It's never been flown by man or woman, east to west, against the prevailing winds. From London to the continent of America non-stop.
It's never been flown for obvious reasons. The fuel load alone would make it impossible.
That's not a challenge. It's a suicide attempt. It's far too dangerous. What are you trying to prove, Jack?
All right, today I shall write to another candidate. I'm sure he'll accept if Beryl declines.
Who is this idiot, anyway?
Someone who holds many flying records. He's a man who's in the news. So there's your challenge, Beryl. What's your answer?
Would you provide all the expenses, the airplane and everything?
Of course.
Then I accept.
Beryl.
If it's possible, I will do it.
You're not serious.
We shan't let you go.
I don't know, I fancy myself a headline or two.
In the obituary column?
No. I'll need technicians.
You'll want for nothing, Beryl. I'll give you everything you need. Well, except luck. That you'll have to provide yourself.
Don't worry, Bro. Africa will never leave me. But now I'm ready to leave Africa.
Well, I suppose I should wish you luck.
That would be nice, Father.
You won't get Tom back by doing this, you know.
Father, please.
Look, it's not too late to call it off. Stay. We could do with the company.
I'm sorry.
Yes, you were always good at saying you're sorry.
Do you have everything you need?
A man needs only water and a strong will.
You're a good mechanic now. You'll never want for a job.
When I left once to become a man, you were sad.
Yes, I was sad.
Now it is you who go out to prove yourself a woman. and I who am left behind.
Goodbye, Kibi.
Goodbye, friend of my childhood.
Beryl Markham's flight over the Atlantic, which has stimulated so much interest and excitement, is likely to be delayed for the third day running by adverse weather conditions. The Port of London Authority today answered critics.
Hello, Tom. Hello. Hello, Tom.
For not respecting the navigation rules. Mrs. Markham's sponsor, the Earl of Carberry,
I just stopped by to
Tom.
wish you all the best. I understand you've fitted extra fuel tanks.
Yes, we have.
Engine bedded down all right?
110 hours.
Jolly good. Must be rather trying, all this waiting for the weather.
Yes, come on. Let's have a cup of coffee. I did try to call you.
Guess the papers were full of you, weren't they?
I thought perhaps we could get together.
Florence was quite jealous. She wanted to meet you, but she had a touch of laryngitis, so I... The Met Office seems to think this will last till the weekend.
I know.
Yes. She's a beautiful bird.
Yes, she is.
Well, I really just dropped by to wish you good luck, and I hope you get away soon. So good luck.
Thank you. Damn it, I'm going. Top up the fuel. I can't wait any longer. Let's get on with it. Come on. Contact!
Contact.
The first imponderable was the weight of the fuel load. What a fool I'd be if I couldn't even get off the ground.
I getting condensation? The next problem was the fuel gauge. Must be the indicator. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted falls the way to dusty death. Coffee. That's what I need. Coffee. Lighted falls the way to dusty death. Ouch! Ouch! Brief candle. Ow! Oh, damn! Flaps had frozen solid. The only thing standing between me and Lord Carberry's happiness was my prayer that the ice might melt at a lower altitude. Prayers are answered. They are. But now I was utterly lost. The storm had thrown me completely off course. All I knew was that I was still heading west and less than 4 hours of fuel remaining, if I was lucky. We must be there. We must. Don't back up on me now.
hurt? Are you hurt?
I'm fine, thank you.
What the hell happened?
What is this place? Where are we?
Cape Breton, Newfoundland. Where the hell do you think it was?
Well, I just come from London, England.
Yeah, well, you just wait there. I'll go get a doctor. Just wait there, huh?
No, I have. I've flown the Atlantic.
But that's just not possible, lady.
Yes, it is. I've just done it.
On September 5, 1936, Beryl Markham became the first woman to fly the Atlantic east to west in a flight lasting 21 hours. The world has been paying tribute to her remarkable feat, and today it's the turn of New York City and of Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia.
May I, on behalf of the city of New York...
I was such a fool. All I could think of saying to Mayor LaGuardia was, thank you, oh, thank you.
Just a bit of brandy.
Did you really have nothing to eat?
No, nothing. Only the 2 brandies, as I said in the interview.
I'm so pleased to have got here. I only wish I could...
2, I'm afraid. I wouldn't be such a goody-goody now.
It was a great moment.
Yes, it was. But like all great moments, they never last. What is it the Greeks said? The gods only raise you up to dash you down?
All right, boys, take your pictures.
2 weeks later, I was still the toast of New York.
One question at a time, boys, please.
Sorry, John. Excuse me one moment.
Sure, Bill.
Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. What? Please don't.
Right.
Get out!
Come on, boys. Come on.
Get out!
All right, boys, I'll talk to you all later, and I promise you another opportunity.
Beryl, what is it?
It's Tom. He's dead. It was a freak accident. He was waiting to take off. And another plane came and landed right on. It was the most paralyzing moment of my life.
How did you deal with it?
I just carried on. As we all have to. As Tom would have wanted. I was offered a contract to take the aircraft on tour. It was repaired by then.
Beryl,
Jack.
I just wanted to congratulate you.
Well, thank you, Jack. It's all thanks to you.
It's a splendid achievement. You're quite a heroine.
Jack, I've had an offer. Money. Stacks of it if I can take the plane on tour.
I'm sorry I can't let you.
What?
I can't let you keep the plane.
But, Jack, it's the only way I have of making any money.
No, Beryl. The plane's mine. And I want it. Our bargain extended to your landing it here. That's all.
Please, Jack. I beg of you.
You beg me? That's not you, Beryl, surely. Ah, you'll be all right, Beryl. Why aren't you the international heroine?
By taking the plane away, Carberry cut off all my immediate prospects.
You must have had a lot of other offers.
Oh, yes. Most of them silly. And I didn't have the heart for it. I was so lonely.
Is that when you started writing?
Yes. A little.
I was invited to Hollywood to be a technical advisor on a film set in Kenya. World War II had just broken out, but it was very remote from my life there.
Ronnie, you leap from that palm as the chief is about to cook the chimp.
Chief, you say, chimp, good to eat.
Chimp, good to eat.
You say, chimp, my friend.
Chimp, my friend.
Then you grab the chimp and you do your
break for lunch.
Okay,
30 minutes, everybody.
Excuse me, sir, but the chimpanzee is not indigenous to
What?
Kenya. We don't have chimps in Kenya.
Well, we just have to rely on the ignorance of our audience. After all, they never failed us before. Great scene.
Swell.
You wrote this stuff?
Hell no. I only refined it. My job is to make the garbage smell sweeter, not to create the garbage. I'm responsible for bringing grammar and syntax to the Lord of the Jungle and various and sundry villains. Excuse me, my name is Ralph Schumacher, and this is Otto Schmetterling. Otto's slumming today. Come down to make sure nobody adds anything tasteful to the picture. You see, Otto is an executive at the studio and should be treated with something between disdain and contempt. Did you know champagne works wonders for a woman? Especially when consumed by a man. Cheers.
Raoul banished loneliness from my life. He brought in laughter and much too much booze.
Love me, Beryl. Love me like I really deserved it.
You hate it. I know I can't write grammatically, and my spelling is absolutely awful.
Are you through?
Yes.
The first thing you should learn is never to trust another writer's opinion, ever. Other writers have an axe or a pen or a typewriter
So
to grind.
sorry, I should never have shown it to you. I'm not a writer.
Oh, shut up. Now listen, first things first. The title, West with the Night, is terrific.
But
Beryl, the second thing is the book is very, very good. It's vivid, it's moving, deeply felt, and very nearly a terrific book.
you liked it.
I loved it.
Oh, Raoul. I don't care if nobody else in the world ever reads it.
Now, that would be pretty stupid. Moliere said when you start out writing, you write for yourself, then for a few friends, and finally for money. But I'm going to help you lick this into shape and jump you straight to the money.
I don't believe it.
You'll have to work with me. We'll shape it, sharpen up some of the phrasing. It'll still be your book, of course, your life. Then, with a little luck, I think we've got a bestseller.
You are wonderful.
By the way, you were right about two things. You can't spell, and your grammar is atrocious.
So, how much did Raoul write?
Raoul never visited Africa in his life.
You published some stories after the book, and it was almost as if they were written by somebody else.
Raoul wrote them, using my name. We did collaborate on some, but that was mostly whoring. Why was everyone so surprised that I only wrote one book? I only had one life to write about.
I don't know that she said.
Just listen to this. A superb evocation both of Africa and a gilded childhood which ends in Mrs. Markham's triumphant transatlantic flight. Here is another.
The glittering success of her life is now further adorned by a supremely well-written account.
Darling, enough.
Enough for you, maybe, but I could use all the praise I can get.
Excuse me, Beryl. I'd like you to meet Armando Giannetti. He's interested in the Italian rights.
Yeah? Rights, rewrites, but mainly rewrites. Wasn't even published without the rewrites, you know? Look at this, Junior. You want proof? Check the dedication. My assistance, and don't you forget it.
Hey, I'll sign your book, honey. I wrote it.
Royal Schumacher Rescue Service at your service. R-E-S-C-U-E. Need a little rewrite? I'm the man to see. I'm your rescue service. It don't matter. You can't spell. Nobody'll know, 'cause I won't tell. I'm your rescue service.
Raoul, come down.
Down to your level? No can do. I'll rewrite your crummy book. Don't you worry, I'll get you off the hook. 'Cause I'm your rescue service. R-E-S-C-U-E. Right. Come see me.
The problems of surviving, and surviving with Raoul, stopped me from thinking about the war.
They've cancelled our credit at Jurgensen's.
Huh?
They've cancelled our credit at Jurgensen's.
It's okay. Our royalty check has just arrived. Money makes the world go round, but why should it stop at Jurgensen's?
Oh. We'll be lucky if that gets us through next week.
Cast worry aside, my darling. I'll have you know at this very moment I'm in the process of creating our fortune. I have a new game, a fad to conquer America with. It is called the catapult. Wonder if anybody ever bothered to take out a patent on the catapult. Huh? Beryl, don't you ever sneer when you walk away from me. It's most unpleasant to laugh at a drunk.
It's more unpleasant to live with one.
No, I never will.
Is Mrs. Markham here?
Huh?
Does Mrs. Markham live here? Look, I could come back at another time if it...
Hey, it's okay, it's okay. You're not from the studio, are you?
No.
They're getting younger by the hour, you know. Have we had the pleasure of meeting before?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. But you know Beryl, do you?
Yes.
Well, come on in. Say, you don't by chance play ping pong, do you? I need a little exercise. Beryl! Ever see one of these? Beryl!
Yes?
Mysterious stranger for you.
Who is it?
Beryl?
Do I know you?
Well, can my new but good friend be an imposter? He said you knew him.
I said I knew Beryl.
I'm sorry.
Mystery. Everyone loves a mystery. Would the stranger be so kind as to reveal himself?
I am Gervais, your son. Do you ever think of going back? To Africa, I mean.
All the time.
When I was at school, I used to collect the newspaper articles about you. Your horses.
Did you like school?
It was better than home.
Sorry.
When you flew the Atlantic, I was quite the hero. He's very amusing.
Isn't he? Gervais, I really wish things had been different.
Yes.
I am sorry. I really am. Is Mansfield?
It was very good of him to give me this trip. Canada, California, Australia next.
Must you go? Couldn't you stay a few days, a few weeks?
I'm sorry.
Yes, of course.
Delicious dinner.
I really did love your father. He quite swept me off my feet.
He hardly ever spoke of you. But he was pleased when you crossed the Atlantic, broke the record.
Was he?
Yes, I think he was proud. Well, I'd better be going to bed.
I'll give you breakfast.
No, honestly, there's really no need.
Please. At least that.
Will you say goodbye to for me?
Good night.
Good night.
So, off to Sydney.
Perth.
Ah.
Well, goodbye.
Gervais, there is something I'd like you to have. I'm afraid it's the only inheritance I'll ever be able to offer you. It belonged to my mother.
Really, I couldn't possibly...
Please. Something to remember me by.
Goodbye. Mother.
Garbage. Elizabeth Garbage. I'm the writer. Me. You want to show me up, is that it?
Ron, you've got to stop this.
Oh, shut up, you phony.
I can't live this way anyway.
I wrote the bloody book. Why don't you tell the world that? I made it work.
Stop it!
Leave my trade to me, bitch. I'm the writer.
Oh! He's all yours, sweetie. Raoul married again. A woman who drank as much as he did. It killed him in the end.
And then you went back to Kenya?
Oh, that was later, much later.
After the war?
Oh, long after.
things had changed. The Africans were angry. They wanted their independence. I only wanted to come back to the place I belonged.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, madam. You can't come through here unless you have a pass.
You must be new here.
I have been here 10 years.
Well, ask Sir Michael Keane. I'm sure he'll vouch for me.
Sir Michael who?
Call Billy Kennett. I'd like to have a word with him.
Who will I say?
Beryl Markham.
Martin?
Markham.
Mr. Kennett, there's a Baron Markham to see you, sir. Yes? Yes, sir. Madam, Mr. Kennett says he's very busy right now. He said he might be able to see you tomorrow after the morning rides.
Thank you.
Mrs. Markham, nice to see you.
Duroki, how are you?
Fine.
Where is everyone?
They don't come back so much these days, Mem Sab. Let me get you a little vodka, okay?
Nice of you to remember. Oh, Johan. It's Beryl.
Good Lord. I didn't know you were back.
Yes. I'm thinking of starting up a training stable again. I hope that perhaps you might talk to the committee and ask them to tell some of the owners that I'm back.
Well, the committee can't recommend trainers, Beryl. You know that.
No, I didn't mean recommend. I meant simply to tell them. I must have a few friends left. Michael?
Oh, hello there, Beryl. How are you?
Broke. Anxious to get to work.
Oh, I sold my stable some years ago.
Oh.
Except for a couple of little hunters. What have you got in training?
Nothing yet.
Oh, it's nice to see you. And good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
I went back to the Delamere's house. His grandson lived there now.
Can I help you?
Oh, hello. My name is Beryl Markham.
Mrs. Markham? I'm sorry. It's been a long time.
Oh, yes, it has. Very long time. You were only a tiny little baby. It's so strange to be here. It was like a second home when your grandfather was alive.
Come in and have a drink.
No, no, thank you very much. I've only come to ask you for something. A long time ago, your grandfather helped me. Now I've come to ask for your help. I'm starting a training stud, and I need horses.
I thought you were a pilot.
Yes, yes, I was. But before that, I trained horses. For your grandfather, in fact.
It's so competitive nowadays.
Yes, it is.
We have contracts now, Mrs. Markham. I'm awfully sorry, but I don't expect I could just break them.
No, I don't expect you could.
Have you tried Roshan Patel? The Asians are the coming people out here now. Very serious about it. They study the history. I expect Patel will know about your earlier work.
Thank you.
Awfully good of you to come. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful. I mean, for old time's sake.
Your grandfather was a great man. He came here to build a country and died with his dream. Not all of us are so lucky.
African's dream of freedom did come alive, though. I was glad to be a part of it.
What's this chestnut called?
City Breeze, out of Annapurna.
Very nicely put together.
Well, he has cost me more than everything else combined. He has been a most grievous disappointment. My present trainer says he can do nothing with him.
Really? I'd like to try my hand with him.
To train him?
Yes.
But he's surely unworthy of the famous Mrs. Beryl Markham.
Mr. Patel, anything with 4 legs looks awfully good to me these days. And City Breeze has excellent bloodlines. Oh, it's really coming on. He was wonderful today. Really.
And Mensah, we have a new client, Mrs. Rayner.
Well, hello. How do you do, Mrs. Rayner?
How do you do, Mrs. Markham?
What can I do for you?
I'm worried about my horse.
Well, what's your horse called?
Bold Fantasy.
Well, let's see if we can see what her problem is. Hello, girl.
What's that filling there?
Bold Fantasy. Old Mrs. Rayner bought her the other day. She's got a great heart. Great heart. But a weak tendon.
What, Mrs. Rayner?
No, Father, the horse. But did you see City Breeze this morning? Hello. I've really got him flying. We won, Father. City Breeze by half a length. Not the most important race in the world, but a win all the same. I'm going to have a drink. Would you like a cup of tea? Father?
Beryl. I loved you best. Best.
Hello, Mr. Patel. He's magnificent, isn't he? I want to rest him the week before the Derby, and then just a few good gallops, and he'll be absolutely ready.
Mrs. Markham, I'm most sorry about this, because you have worked brilliantly with him. But I've come to tell you that I'm withdrawing him.
From the Derby?
No, I wish to return to my previous trainers. My associates have persuaded me that, despite my deep admiration for your work, that you have been out of the sport for a long time, and we feel that Mr. Ennis's experience will give City Breeze the final polish. I am most sorry about this. I do hope you understand. I have brought you a little bonus in recognition.
This is a bad mistake, sir.
Let Mr. Ennis have the current feeding program when the truck arrives, will you?
Feels like 30 pieces of silver.
What the jungle does not reveal at night is still there when light comes.
I'm going to show him. I'm going to show all of them. I'll enter bold fantasy.
A filly with weak tendons against that stallion. Are you crazy?
Perhaps I am.
Come on, chaps, it's Derby Day. City Breeze out at 5 to 4. My man, 14, Bold Fantasy, tripping out to 25. 25, Bold Fantasy.
Now, under starter's orders. There's the only filly in the race, Bold Fantasy, with the black and gold colours trained by Beryl Markham. And there's the hot favourite, City Breeze, in the orange and red of Roche Patel. And they're off. Bold Fantasy goes quickly into the lead. To surprise this, she was a late entry and there's a question mark about her legs. But she appears to be going well today and is making the running as the field heads out into the country around the bend at the top of the course. And as they come down the back straight, it's still Bold Fantasy who has led all the way, now challenged by the favourite City Breeze on her outside. They've quickened the pace and are drawing away from the field. As they came down the turn, they're neck and neck with Bold Fantasy just holding off City Breeze. And she's run out. She's run out, nearly unseating her jockey. And that looks like the end of it for the filly. City Breeze has taken up the lead from Bordello, and these two are moving away from the field. And as they come into the straight, it looks to be between these two. But wait, Bold Fantasy has come again. She's making a tremendous last run. It's going up on Bordello. She's challenging City Breeze. They're neck and neck. She's going ahead. If the legs hold, she's going to win. She's going to win. She's done it. Bold Fantasy wins from City Breeze. The first filly to win in the history of the race.
Bold Fantasy's courage triumphed over her weak tendons. Yes, I won many, many races, but none of them was ever as sweet as that first Derby. And no horse ever had as great a heart as little Bold Fantasy. When you've written your article, will you send it to me? I'd like to read it.
Are you sure?
Now remember, Arthur, they're your words, but my life.
All right, this isn't for history. This is just for me.
Oh, wait.
Goodbye, Beryl. And thank you. I never wrote the piece for the magazine. I'd become too fond of her to trespass on the privacy of her life. I kept promising myself that maybe one day I would. In her declining years, Beryl was practically destitute. Some of her friends in Africa saw to it that she didn't starve. I'd like to claim that I was one of them, but I wasn't.
Congratulations on your book.
See you later, Beryl.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
West with a Night was republished in 1984.
Another little fuddy.
Yes, ma'am. For 20 weeks, it was on the New York Times list of bestsellers. The success of the book gave her a few dollars to eke out her last years. As Beryl herself wrote to me, I've managed to do so much, and most of the things I wanted to do, but I haven't managed to escape old age. God, it's boring.
All right, you'll get yours in a minute. Oh. Right, I'll give it to you now.
man. Come here. She's not good. She's in here.
And all this time, I've been learning how to die.